you said you felt like you were in a baggage area without the bag. You got to realize that sometimes God wants you to drop all of your tools that you think is you, and He's preparing you. He's teaching you new things and all of that. So it is stepping out, like Steve said, in faith, but you have to drop some stuff. Because what you've been doing doesn't work. So you really have to, it's kind of like letting go and just letting God do, like you spoke about, I think last week, wasn't it? About, so sometimes it's very uncomfortable because our flesh wants us to be in total control. And it's not always like that with God. We don't know what, right now I feel like, I'll tell you, I feel like everything's out of control, but I'm in control. Does that make any sense? It's like everything around me is kind of like going haywire, but yet in the middle of it, I know God's victorious and He's going to take care of it. So I just have to take my hands off and I just, moving forward in whatever way I can. I just go from one little thing to the next and just trusting God that He's got it in all of this. But I do, you were talking about moving out. I don't want to take away. No. But symbolically, do you realize there are things, I was doing something symbolically this morning. When God says do that, then I'm now in this place where I've got to do it. People may not understand it. They think this and that about, why does she do that or this or that? Or why play that kind of music and try to force us to do this or that? God said do it, I'm going to do it. May not make sense to anybody, but it makes sense to God. And the thing that in my spirit, what I feel like God was doing symbolically, in somebody, well, I won't call it out, but there's pictures that you'll get in your mind. And I remember a long time ago, it was a situation where there was abuse, it was just an awful situation, and the individual got a picture of a person, actually the man, standing in the palm of a hand and naked. And in that nakedness, God said, okay, now it's time for you to will you just let me have this now? Let me do what I need to do. And so symbolically, what that individual had to do was just say, okay, God, strip them. And you know what? God did that, and that person is following the Lord now. Touched in a big way. So sometimes we're not going to understand the images or the directions or anything, but if we go with it, if we go with God, if you know for sure it's God, then I'm telling you, I'm expecting grave clothes. Often, those people that I put in, I've been doing this now for a while, but I'm expecting that to happen. One of these days, right off, I'm going to see it. You're going to see a miracle. That's how I'm talking.
Yeah, and you have to declare that. You have to do what you know God has said to do.
Yeah.
I think sometimes we relate back to the traveling. I think sometimes God wants us to travel without luggage.
Yeah.
I think sometimes we travel like we're going on vacation. We try to bring all of our luggage with us. He doesn't want us. He wants it to get lost. Don't even bring a carry-on.
Yeah.
And I was reminded when we moved to Georgia, talking about when direction is given, move quickly. Sometimes other people will speak into your life and give you direction. Steve Lois that came with me last week is a good friend of mine. He's that one person I have that I can vent to, I can unload on him, and he can unload on me, and it doesn't leave that table. But when we moved to Georgia, we were 9 months, our house was on the market for 9 months, we wanted to go, house wasn't selling. Steve goes, you need to pack like you're moving. I said, what do you mean? He goes, you need to start packing boxes like your house is sold. We started packing boxes, and within weeks' time, our house was under contract and we were down the road. That was a strategy, a God-given strategy through somebody else. We moved quickly on it. Okay, let's start packing. We're going to look crazy living out of boxes for who knows how long. You can only do what you know to do right now. And if you don't know what to do, stand still. Just station yourself for something.
Ask God for directions. Ask God to give you a picture of what you need to do in your particular life. And when you do that, and he said, even if it's just a little tiny voice, I mean, just very light, and you're going, a flash of something, and you're going, what? Take it, go with it. Because that's how we operate sometimes. It's just a little quick flash, a little quick picture, or a voice saying, do this. And when you do that, you'll see God move. He'll move. And so I'm just going to speak this over you, okay? I'm declaring that God's going to move on your life. I'm declaring right now that God's going to change some things for you. And that he is going to remove the baggage that you're carrying. And that you're going to follow his direction. I am seeing right now, you said something earlier about when he parted the sea, the thing, and then people crossed over. I just see that for your situations. Can you trust him for that? Do that. If you have to symbolically, hit things out, say, part the seas, Lord. Open up the ways for this person to come to Christ, or to be healed of this or that, or bondage is broke, whatever it is. Let God move in you. Get out of the religious garb and let God move like he did, the miracle God that he moved in. It is powerful.